Thank you, Deputy Speaker. The member for Fraser has fallen into the same trap that the Treasurer seems to be in and seems to not be able to get out of, this deep, dark hole where they think that when Labor resumed power in May 2022, that the entire economy was bereft of vision, productivity, economic growth indicators. The fact is, and this is an absolute truth, Labor inherited a very good set of numbers, notwithstanding the pandemic that swept the globe, by which Australia was rated second in the world according to the Johns Hopkins Institute. And what we did during the pandemic was saved millions of jobs and tens of thousands of lives. That's what we did. And the economic record that we produced was one of which we should be proud. And made possible the Labor surpluses, and also on the back of very good prices for coal and iron ore and agriculture, three key export industries. Three industries, I might add, that Labor are now trying to shut down. Why would you, and I hear the member for Hunter go, whoa, 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 well, it is a fact, member for Hunter, that Labor does not like mining. Labor does not like mining. I don't know what Labor is going to do going forward when the renewable energy sector cannot provide the sort of power and reliability and accessibility and availability to energy sources, because it is going to happen, and we are going to get blackouts, and we are going to be shutting down factories and manufacturing, and Labor goes on and on and on about being made in Australia. Let me tell you, when the lights can't be turned on, when the power can't be sourced because of Labor's rush to renewables, we're not going to have a coal sector, and we're not going to be having those coal-fired power stations, which have provided for decades — I hear you use the word decades, but provide for decades — the energy sources upon which this nation has relied on, upon which this nation has very much gained good export earnings. And this is about productivity. This motion brought to the parliament by the member for Forde is about productivity. And when you look at productivity, you look at factors such as living standards. Now, real disposable income net per capita fallen by 8.7% under Labor. Productivity has collapsed 6.3%. Household savings are down 10.2 percentage points. Personal income taxes 25.3% higher. Interest paid on mortgages almost tripled. How then do we produce a set of numbers that are going to lead to economic activity and productivity gains? We're not. And what we get is a Treasurer who's going around and blaming everybody else bar himself, bar his policies. It was like last week when he came out and talked about the RBA and, through Governor Michelle Bullock, and her smashing the economy. It was like that naughty schoolboy who comes to school not having done his homework and blaming the poor family pet, the dog, for eating said homework. It is his fault. It is the Treasurer's fault that we have the national productivity decline. It is his fault that we have inflation rampantly out of control. It is his fault that we don't just have a crisis in cost of living, but a crisis of confidence, and confidence by our small business operators. An anti-mining, anti-resource government, but almost just as bad and probably worse, an anti-agriculture government. And tomorrow morning we get the opportunity to hear from some of those farmers, those keep the sheep farmers, those brave souls from Western Australia who are getting their industry shut down. And shame on the Treasurer, because in the last budget he delivered, right at that spot there, the largest amount of money being spent on agriculture in that economic statement was to shut down an industry. $107 million to shut down live sheep. an export trade that Australia led the world in, and led the world in animal welfare standards. And tomorrow is a big test. See how many Labor members go out and address those farmers out on the front lawn.